But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The game is live once again, despite all the heavies in the Algerian spawn. Hopefully they have this timed out. Somebody's going to be back on medic here shortly. Either that or we have further confusion of... yeah, okay, he's building that Ubercharge. He's got 15 seconds. This is Algeria versus Czech Republic in the Nations Cup. I'm your host, eXtine, joined by jakeowaty. Wiethoofd on the camera. And we had a restart, but we are live once again, ladies and gentlemen. Algeria on the offense. We'll have to see how this goes down.
Mars in a very interesting spot. It's waiting out the first respawn. Vosi already going in, but he's gonna get destroyed by Breeze. Like a Breeze himself. Nation's also scoping in. He's missing some shots there. The Algerians a little bit slow on the rollout yet again. They're not really willing to put all their marbles in a one bag. Nations finds a kill onto Guard here, and Mars actually going behind, takes down ALG with his black box on lock, and then a sticky trap from eXtine taking out Kim. So kind of slowing down, trickling down the enemy, kind of bleeding them dry before they actually get ready for a push here. Stuffed still sitting quite defensively in spawn, but he's getting out now, eXtine. He might be looking at a push fairly soon, but they lose Vosi.
Yeah, this is sort of the wrong way of pushing forward. In the first kind of portion of this cast, before we had the restart, we were hyping up Algeria's tactics. But right here, just to start off this round, a little bit sluggish. You just need to get that cart as far as you can without really having to commit. And then you commit with an Ubercharge and hopefully don't pop it off early. But they're kind of halfway on pushing the cart as far as they can. You know, the scouts trying to get in there. But really, that cart could be a lot further for free. And stuff very far forward. Looks like they're going to be trying to use this Ubercharge, but at the same time, still kind of a little bit behind Vosi. You don't want to get too disconnected from your main Uber targets here. Kim getting knocked down very low is going to scream for an arrow, and that does get some heals, but this Ubercharge hasn't come out yet. Cart continues to creep forward. Vosi getting forward, and Stuffed as well, but on Playground is going to be visible and vulnerable. He's feeling vulnerable. Pops Ubercharge on Vosi, and honestly, this is it's just had like 5% left by the time he finally rounded the corner and started shooting at that sentry gun. So
that was a very smart play by Czech Republic here, because they saw that Stuffed is out and they couldn't get the kill. eXtine actually getting destroyed there by Mr. X, but they were waiting out the situation, seeing what Stuff does, but they were very slow on the rollout. They weren't going for the sentry, so they said, you know what, we're just going to use our own Uber, force their Uber out, and they will have nothing to fight the sentry with. And that's worked out for them so far, but they're losing players now. eXtine is still spawning. Kexic has also gone down. That's the heavy, so now they have to work with what they have left here. Del T is available on the battlefield, and Power is very important in the first point here, as it's able to completely stop an Uber push from being executed. However, Stuffed already 70%. Degu slightly faster on the building. But yet again, Algeria really sluggish. Stuff is already out, and he's very brave for doing this. Nation's on the sniper rifle, and he's not known to be missing too many shots.
yeah, he did get stabbed down earlier, but he's out here now. And Stuff does have the Ubercharge. Looks like they might use it with Maddie here to round the corner. Stuff does actually pop it in time. Got kind of thrown sky high, but able to survive. Mr. X does go down. He's probably hoping for a flash there. Maddie's gotten ditched by Stuff. Stuff backing up. Stuff also taking kind of some spam rockets as Del T closes the distance, gets the kill on Vosi. And not too many left up for Algeria here, as the cart is close, but they're still going to need some significant effort to get it out here. Breeze has lost his sentry gun. I don't see him on the map right now. Okay, yeah, he is back on at spawn, building up for the second point. So we might see the Czech Republic kind of concede their territory here, as Degu could get into some trouble for his behavior here, staying forward, but looks like he will be safe. Vosi goes down. The point did get captured. Teleporter exit is up, and it looks like for now Czech Republic is staying forward. eXtine actually very forward, trying to get a kill on Stuffed, who is extremely banged up. Is going to eat a sandwich though, and has that dispenser. It's back up to full health, and Algeria could surge forward here. And Czech Republic playing confidently, but they actually do have to be a little bit careful here if they lose too many players in this extremely forward hold. Yurkus right now trying to get his knife into Stuff. Stuff actually has to pop the Ubercharge, and point on the map that they are very unhappy with having to use it. here. And stuff actually also going to go down as Del-T gets some cleanup alongside some of his other players. And this forward hold is not going down. This Bree is setting up a level 3. Yep, level 3 back in the original spot. So
that is crazy. That is crazy coming out of Czech Republic. They're actually holding on to this, and they're actually resetting their sentry. They have a teleporter leading to spawn all the way, and it's the first point has been capped, ladies and gentlemen. It's been capped. It's taken longer time for Algeria to get it done, but it's been capped, and Czech Republic is not letting this one go. And you might think that, what is TechSick doing? Why is he on the brass beast? This is like the worst unlock. You're gonna get sniped, buddy. And surprisingly enough, at the time when he picked it, it was a very smart choice because they didn't have a sentry on the first point. So what do you do with a heavy? You turn to a sentry yourself. As I'm saying that Yusuf snipes TechSick with that brass piece is just no challenge at all. And he's still on the prowl. He's looking for Lucas Stang. He's gonna miss the shot on him. And still looking for more. He might be able to get a shot on the heavy, or, well, not heavy, there's a soldier there, but he's missing this one as well. And Julius, once again, they're stuck on the first point. That sentry gun is untouched. The Uber's coming out of stuff, trying to get this one done. Bree's finally gonna lose, and now he's holding his butthole just to get out. But he's gonna be saved by Daegu. Daegu's low on the health himself. Oh, he gets caught out by a roller there. Vosi finds a kill on the medic, and that kind of aggressive hold coming out of Czech Republic might come back and bite him instead.
Yeah, also instead of playing with his medic there, Lucas Tank was trying to get frags, kind of working that catwalk area, and did get some good damage on that cart area, but it is a team game, and with Breeze kind of backing up late, as well as Daegu going down, both players are kind of back at their role, but the Algerians surging forward. And if they can take the corner here, we see a lot of times it's just really tough to retake the corner. Yurkus was running right in front of the blue spy, who didn't raise any suspicions about the behavior. And Yurkus might be able to pay back Yusuf for that with a nice, no, actually just gives him some revolver shots. And Yurkus has been very devastating in the restarted half, as well as this so far. And once again, Algeria kind of getting stuck on this corner. Garp thrown forward, but as they kind of get separated and don't fight together, that's when they start to fall apart against this Czech Republic team. And they're going to use the Uber charge here. Yeah, dropping out of the window. Sorry to cut you off there.
No worries, man. The Uber has come out, though. Stuff is just being tossed around like a ping pong ball, and then Del-T just finishes him off. I mean, you said yourself that Del-T has been featured here on top 10 place of the month before, and he's showing what he can do on that Pyroclast. Oh my god!
Yeah, nice flare shot. He does survive for a little bit longer before Alge takes him down. Alge actually also gets the kill on Daegu. So nice pickup. Still going, but not going to be able to get much more. Did get a kill with his sentry gun simultaneous to that.
A little bit of trouble there in the tunnels. He has that black box, going to get finished off by Garp. His counterpart from the blue team, Algeria, is pushing now with the cart, but no! What a shot by Nation! Finds stuff there in among some other heads. Clicks on it, and that is at the end of the medic for the blue side, giving Daegu quite a bit of a comfortable advantage here. Look how many players are still sitting holding that top spawn for the red side, as Free still has that sentry gun up.
Yeah, it's a pretty cheeky spot for the sentry gun. As soon as they get some heals on Vochi, should be able to sort that out.
Is running that cool on heater as well, just for additional spiking, or maybe he's just having fun himself with the shotgun. Also, no sandwich. Nation finds Vosi, so that demo is down again. eXtine. TechSick is just going in forward without a care in the world, looking for some more frags, but he's gonna get fragged himself instead. And now Stuffed quite significantly behind in terms of Ubers behind Daegu there. And, well, Czech Republic still holding on to this third point strongly, and Algeria is not doing something they've done the first time around before a restart, is that they don't focus the cart. The cart is stand still and is not moving forward. Like, if you want to push and win this game, this is an objective-based game, you have to keep people on the cart no matter what. But Nation is there to say no to that. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, also since it's such a asynchronous gameplay experience of you push on offense and then you switch sides and they push on offense, you completely have to capitalize on every opportunity you have to push the cart. Because also, you know, once you wipe a team, you don't want to have to like push the cart a really long time while you're waiting for players to respawn. You want it as far forward already as possible. so you can just finish off that capture and then, you know, push even deeper into enemy territory. But right now, Mixer X goes down, and Alge and Wiethoofd just like not really able to fight around the cart. So Czech Republic basically getting a lot for free here, as they're not actually having to actively defend the cart, and instead just focus on locking people down on the house. And Garp and Alge are going to try to push it, and Mr. X rotating around as well. And this is a lot better here, as you see players trying to take the corner. Tarek, though, barely surviving. No assistance from Mr. X.
Wow.
And they get the kill, but this is perfect cart pushing opportunity, and they just have one pyro doing it. And actually, he's got to get up there soon. Otherwise, he's... Oh, nice reflect. Mars actually kind of smartly jumping off the wall instead of continuing to engage. And Maddie does get the cart up the ramp. Those ramp sections can be really devastating, and that's what I was worried about. It does actually look like Algeria might be able to retake this corner as well. They don't have the best numbers, though, as Vosi and stuff were very far forward, and they go down. And again, this is what I'm talking about. The cart progress from before makes a huge difference. They're going to lose their opportunity to get up this third ramp, excuse me. And if they had pushed it a little bit further earlier, they might have been able to finish that capture and take that point there.
I think Algeria was a little bit too overzealous there with the pushing. They got a lot of ground. They got a lot of work done. They got a lot of kills, and they staggered Czech Republic from setting up on third again. But then they lacked steam, and they didn't manage to push the cart far enough yet again. They didn't put people on the cart. They didn't put people to push it while they're pushing the enemy team. And now Lucas Tang is just cleaning up house with Ken Wiethoofd going down to his pills. He's still with that conch. And Uber comes out again. He's without pills now. He's just trying to reload them, but he's just looking for stuff. He gets them as well, and he's just looking for more. What is he doing? He's just complete. One man is like an elephant in the porcelain warehouse, just completely wrecking up house.
Oh, yeah. And again, they're teaming up very nicely. Wiethoofd does get a constellation kill on Nation, but with Dave in his face, actually Wiethoofd's going to get another one, and able to kind of just stay alive for a little bit there. Finally goes down. Yurkis with a double stab. Oh, he did get Daegu right before he went down. So Wiethoofd, a nice shot there to kind of wrap up a successful life. But yeah, again, just having difficulties dealing with this aggressive Czech side, and it's kind of in the transition that when there is a good opportunity to push, they take advantage of it. But Stuffed and Voci did get a little ahead of themselves, and then as they're kind of in that transition and just trying to wait until a good time to push, instead they just got aggressed into and dominated, to be blunt about it.
Ooh, Lucas Tank and Breeze just kind of working together to take down the offense yet again. Algeria not really capitalizing on the advantage. They managed to build themselves the past 2-3 minutes. It's just now kind of struggling and getting a little bit desperate here. Kim is actually leading the Vanguard with his medic, getting most of the heals up. There's a lot of damage being done to the Brit team, but not enough kills. Uber has come out from stuff. Degu doesn't have his Uber just yet, so he's out on about of the situation. Kale now is in position to get something done, but Lucas finds a pill on his face by Vosi, which means that will give them a lot of ground, free ground from Spam. However, they lose Stuffed in that last engagement eXtine, and that is going to delay them yet again. But Garp is working again. I mean, he's trying to get something done. They're getting quite aggressive. Just look how far forward they are, but there's nobody pushing the cart. Yet again, this is such a big issue for the Algerian team to just solve. It's so easy. Just put some bodies there, get them to push the cart.
Yeah, to kind of tie into that, though, it's a combination of putting a body on the cart and then supporting that body on the cart, because right before you started talking about it, the Scout had a 1v1 the heavy weapons guy, and Scout had about half health or so when that fight started, and it's just that sort of situation. And the Scout pushing the cart, if you only have one person pushing the cart, the Scout is the ideal person, and if he's trying to take a close one-on-one while you have basically there was a pick class on the side and there are 7 people that were waiting to do something, so if you have a Scout that's like pushing the cart and is in the middle of a 1v1 fight and you have nobody supporting him, that's a serious problem, and certainly ties into the issues that they were having getting forward and successfully capturing more points.
Yeah, so now how it works next time, I'm pretty sure but they have basically Czech Republic has 7 minutes and 46 seconds to push 2 points. If they manage to do this under this time, they'll get the cap, they'll win the first round, and will move to the second round of the set. However, if they don't do it in the allocated time, so they don't push 2 points in 7 minutes 46 seconds, they still can win the game as long as they push to the third point on the map time. So it's a very comfortable situation to be in for any team ever. If you don't manage to cap all the points and only cap some of them, it puts so much pressure on you. You know, pressure is good because it can turn coal into diamonds, but then it can turn diamonds into dust, as some wise man once said in a video game I played.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of people step up under pressure. And I think the Czech Republic, their team is likely to step up kind of regardless of the circumstances here, as they certainly have a fairly easy situation in front of them. I mean, these maps are designed to get to the last point. So, you know, this first point, you know, is meant to be rolled over. The second point is a little bit more difficult, but, you know, even by the time you get to the third point, that's just supposed to be a speed bump. You know, it's supposed to slow teams down. But Blue does have the advantage in pushing in on that. Right now, they're making pretty good progress, and you can see just trying to get as much progress on the cart as possible. They do get Texas stabbed out, but they haven't used the Ubercharge yet. And as soon as they get a few more of these players respawning, they should be using it pretty shortly here on Lucas' tank.
Jurk is actually getting Yusuf, opening up a lot of room for the blue team. Lucas then going in with Ubercharge. Counterpop stuff. He manages to save his team, but he's losing a lot of players in the succession there. The entire defense has been dismantled. You know, the shiny players have been completely ignored, and now Vosi has to get away with his life. Stuff is also low on health, but the first point will surely have to be conceded here. Algerians have been bested by the Czech Republic team, and now Czech Republic has 6 minutes to push the second point, and second point is not that hard to cap.
Yeah, Jurkis with a very nice 3 stabs in a row there. And wow, look at Del T. Bold move, and actually walks away unscathed. He's going to go for it again, rounding the corner, jumping in. Does get a flare shot combo on Yusuf. Does go down to Mr. X afterwards. They've lost Texic as well, but this is really good forward pressure, just keeping the Algerian team on their toes as the cart meanwhile just rolls along. The scout's been pushing it. They also got Breeze with it, which more ideal than a scout on the cart is a scout and an engineer on the cart.
Oh no, and it's rolling too fast.
Jeez.
It's rolling way too fast for the Algerians to actually do something about this, eXtine, and that is it for the first round. I mean, the reset. I don't think the reset has actually worked in their favor. I think Algerians were a little bit further forward with the first game, and the reset after this reset, they failed to cap third point. They were incredibly close in a pretty good time, and then somehow they just let Czech Republic reclaim all the land that they've taken away from them, basically for free. It's difficult to say, really, what exactly went wrong for Algeria team. I think they just stayed there for way too long, and they were a little bit too greedy in terms of trying to bleed the enemy team one by one. Allowed the Czech Republic team to just respawn and fall, retake everything, and set another hold on the third point while the cart was literally teetering on the edge of the third spot where it gets capped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is how Highlander works.
Yeah, and it can be brutal as well, as the Czech Republic's going to be on offense again. So there's kind of no time to really breathe if you're the Algerian team and kind of reform your strategies, especially, you know, when it's in this kind of difficult space. Okay, what do we do better on the first point? Let's not die as early, you know, like, oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. You know, like, oh, what do we do on the second point? It's like, well, if we don't get stuck around the corner and we actually just, you know, take the hill, then we can actually maybe have a defense, you know, but that's really easy to say. But as soon as, you know, you've lost the first point and you're falling back, and then you start bleeding players, or you can't even really get fights strung together to have any semblance of control over the hill, then you know, the panic starts to set in, and the Czech Republic could certainly at least roll through these first 2 points pretty swiftly here, because adjustments are going to be difficult to make here. I don't know, one thing that I see that I would like, you know, to see more out of the Algerians is just a little bit more activity out of the Spy K18. But again, you know, it's just really easy to say, like, I just wish these players would frag more. You know, it seems like Wiethoofd's doing a decent job in the sniper war. They need to watch out for Texic and probably try to focus their damage on Texic a little bit more. Any quick thoughts from you, Jake?
Well, I think that Algerians kind of... They know that there is a wall in front of them in terms of Czech Republic. They know that they have to fight against Prem players. They know that Czech Republic has a more TF2 history than Algeria does. They know all these things, and they still put up a fight. They're still trying to get something done, and that's very respectable, and I really commend them for this. Stuft is doing a pretty good job keeping the team alive, but now with the demo coming in, jumping sky high, Lucas is just gonna crater by Vosi. And Mars coming in late and just gonna get cleaned up by Kim, just like that. It's very simple for them to just do that, and it looks very promising from Algeria already. You know, they're holding this, but the card is rolling inevitably, and inevitably is gonna hit the first point. So now it's all up to Algeria on how they decide to defend this. They have all the setup ready. The players are still alive. They only lost a spy, but it's not a big loss for the first point. Stuff is still alive, and depending on how they manage to control Lukastan from going huge, how they manage to stop Dave from getting all the frags and clinging, I think those are the most important parts for the Algerian team to actually work on right now, because they have been the most impactful players for the team of Czech Republic. But Uber is coming out, eXtine. Degu is kind of trying to body block this. Stuff is popping his Uber charge, but there's a lot of other people just dying, and I think that's what Czech Republic has on point, is that, you know, when they're flashing people, just kill everybody else around them, and I don't think Algeria has anything or any way of dealing with this. Moody is now just stuck behind with that sentry setup. He's gonna get shot in the body by Nation, freeing up a lot of room. The card is dangerously close. A lot of people are dead for the red team eXtine, but they do manage to keep the sentry somehow alive. Almost no health. Stuft is still alive as well. They have Yusuf in a very good position, but they may be able to hold this for a little while longer before they have to fall back.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, part of the issue there, and it's the problem with Demomen, you know, they do spit out a lot of damage. They want to really take the game under their own controls. So Vosi coming in there, you know, it's like, yeah, you have a sentry gun, but it's you and a sentry gun, and maybe, you know, one other person floating nearby up against what's soon to be 9 players, you know. And you have to look at the big picture. You have to realize, okay, well, the whole point of playing defense is to slow them down. You know, there's never going to be one fight where you're like, okay, yeah, we were holding the first point, and then I killed 5 people and we won the round. You know, like, that's only going to manage to slow them down. And so it's such a big risk to try to stay out there like Vosi did, and to say, okay, we're going to hold on to the first point. And right now they're kind of continuing to have that problem where, you know, because they didn't have their demo man when they fell back, they just ended up losing more people, and now they only have 4 people spawned while that second point is captured. You have Yusuf trying to come out of this spawn to take a shot, but at the same time, he's got such a good location just holding from corner that it's like it's going to take him a while to get set up here, and you know, you have to execute, otherwise you're just wasting more and more time.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get destroyed himself. He missed the shot. He let the other team know that they're there, and unfortunately didn't make the dream happen. Now the third point does not have any defense whatsoever. It's being given away for free. Moody's losing his only sentry gun there by Texic, who's still running the shotgun strategy. And the car's just rolling forward, and there's ×3 on it, going as fast as it possibly can. There's a lot of room being covered by the blue team already. They're knocking on the windows, and it was Elg or LG on top there, losing his life by Texic. Sentry's only level 1 yet again. Still, Moody has to work on his build strat if he wants to keep up in the competition here. But the card has been capped on the third point. Scout Engineer working on it hard, and Degu is kind of stuck beneath with Mars. They've lost Del T, but that's the only loss they've got, and that's looking pretty promising. Oh, LG goes on and takes down Degu with a W plus M1. Works well with the pyro, close quarters.
Nice.
You don't want to be caught in such situation as a medic.
Yeah, Kale got some nice frags down low as well, and then got a little too overconfident. Basically tried to get in a revolver fight with a spy that just picked up a full health pack. And he lost that after getting some good frags. Lucas Tank, the only one down, and the rest of blue continuing to charge forward here. It's a very difficult situation for red team as they're continuing to bleed some players here.
Oh yeah, there's only 2 people up. Kale, which is the spy, and Stuff, which is the meta. But he cannot do much. Stuff is only a 99% uber charge. He's not going to be able to get in time on the card to stop it from happening, even though he popped in spawn to get the dream come true for the Algerian team. However, they've lost all 4 points in 4 minutes 35 seconds. Very, very fast time for Czech Republic, and it's going to be very difficult for Algerians to even match this. And from what we've seen tonight, eXtine, I mean, Algerians are putting up a fight and they're not giving up just yet, but I think they're coming to terms that beating this time, even no matter how much work you put in, there is a skill difference between those 2 teams.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of hard to tell Algerians what they need to do aside from just, you know, community has to pull together, get some nice talent out there. Aside from just Wiethoofd, who's played in Div 1, most of these players are lower divs or just kind of, you know, checking out. I know this is kind of hard to getting players who have never played. You know, we don't have a lot of nations playing Nations Cup from Europe. We were missing Spain, for example. We're missing Portugal. I know maybe Portugal is playing, but we're missing Croatia, which also has a lot of good talent. And you know, sometimes you just don't have the players to play. Switzerland also struggled to get their players together because, you know, Switzerland is not that large. You have other countries that actually are missing rosters and they didn't compete because they didn't have the players up. But we're getting ready for the second round here. eXtine, 4 minutes and a half for Algeria to push this, and can they do it?
Yeah, if I was the team captain for Algeria, I would just tell my guys, let's get 2 points. You know, let's really focus on our strategies. Let's get 2 points because it's going to be a very difficult task, and even if they were to win this set miraculously, they're also going to need to win 1 more set. And I think just try to focus on the fundamentals here and playing well together. Get that cart capture going. Need some other people pushing it, and just try to play tighter as a team so that they can hopefully get at least better results in the future. It's all about the practice. Right now, Yurka's coming in behind, gets another stab on Kim. I'm curious what the logs will show in regards to that. Yurka's definitely did a really, really good job of shutting down Kim.
As True Huber comes out of stuff here, trying to save Garp. He's blown away now. Alge is, well, stuck there with a bunch of red guys, and he's just gonna get ganged up on and cleaned up easy. Stuffed is out and about, however. I think, yeah, he survives there. Ubers are about equal, even though Stuffed has popped much earlier than Degu did. And they're still kind of struggling to get this cart forward. However, no medic has the Uber charge online, which means that it is a good time for Algeria to make a push, maybe make a jump onto the medic. He has nothing to protect himself with aside from his teammates. So if you take care of that, he can do a lot of work. Here, Garp trying to do some work, but Breeze Sentry is just taking him down, and Kim, the heavy, also just going down to the shotgun.
Yeah, and Algeria, good push, good time to start this off. I think they need to focus on where their heals are going a little bit more as well, as their heavy weapons guy was on the cart, got taken down after not really getting much in the ways of heals while he's at half health for a while. And now as well, you know, Stuff kind of just had a scout jumping over his top. Degu just kind of standing right behind the heavy weapons guy. Will come out to get some heals on Lucas Tank. And Pyro's trying to get 2 players over the edge. Does throw Lucas Tank over the edge there to get the kill on him. Del T will get pistoled down by Mr. X. At the same time, Del T gets a kill on Alge. So it's 8v5 right now, but not a lot of pressure on the cart itself. Rocket's coming in towards the sentry gun. And Breeze is back by spawn. No, excuse me. I can't find him. He's around here somewhere.
he's in himself. That's pretty good.
There he is. He is on the hillside.
Oh, but Garb jumps in, finds 3 rockets onto the medic. Degu goes down. That's 4 down for the red team. They may be able to push this Algeria. They're missing some players themselves, however, but the spawn is fairly close. They'll be able to keep pushing this one in. Yurkas is lurking about. However, he has tabs on everything that's going on. He may be able to find a stab onto Vosi. Maybe even Stuff there, but they turn around just in time. Managed to finish him off. Actually,
Nice.
Stuff gets a kill himself. That's always nice to see, to get a medic kill on to, well, yourself. 1 minute to go. There's no way in 1,000 years that this is enough time for Algeria team to push. So eXtine, seeing how they play, you know, their kind of debut in the Nations Cup against an established team, kind of like Czech Republic. What would be the lesson to take away from this, aside from just, you know, work together, play a bit more, and see where each other's strengths and weaknesses are? Because Garp is now going on Degu yet again. He's just going in Volzy, but Degu is using the Vaccinator here. He's gonna protect himself with the blast resistance. Smart play out of Degu here, and
Wow.
well, yeah, I mean, they're gonna just win here, Czech Republic. So what can Algeria do to kind of going into this tournament to play better, maybe hope for a second seed coming into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little bit of that kind of tightening up your heels on offensive pushes, getting more kind of teamwork around the Uber charge as well. Because it seemed like a couple of the times that they had good Uber charges, there's just no players in support kind of helping out. And Yurkas, again, just gets a stab on Kim. He's really running around like a madman, getting a lot of work done. Mr. X trying to push the cart there, and certainly good times that Mr. X and others pushed the carts. But there was also other occasions where they needed more support for it, Mr. X, or on the cart itself. And I think that would have helped them perform a little bit better here. But obviously, Czech Republic, very strong offenses, both in the first set to win that, and then also starting off the second set and just kind of placing a very, very difficult time for the Algerians to match, and a pretty solid defense as well.
And so we're going to be having the combined logs fairly soon, I believe. Wiethoofd will say that again, Wiethoofd.
Yeah,
Mr. British.
Shout out to Mr. British for combining the logs and preparing them here. First thing that stands out to me is big Lucas tank with a huge 41 frags and crazy, yeah, almost 200 damage per minute more than his opposing demo man, who was the next on the list. Yurkas, you know, the spy stats are kind of thrown off, but he also had 375. So, yeah, you can just kind of see that, you know, demo man going crazy, spy going crazy, sniper going crazy, and then probably surprise fourth highest fragger is the Pyro, Del T, with 29 frags to 18 deaths. So he had quite a performance as well there.
Yeah, Czech Republic actually dominating the top chart of the kills section here. The only red player at the very bottom is Degu with 1 kill. Actually, Stuffed getting himself 6 kills. This is how hard Stuffed had to work to actually stay alive. And he managed to almost get a kill on every single class. He didn't get the other medic, he didn't get the pyro, and he didn't get soldier, but he got everyone else at least once. So it kind of shows how much work as a medic you have to do when your team is not performing up to the level of the other team. You have to kind of really take care of a lot of things yourself. And while Yusuf was doing quite a bit of work, I mean, Vosi was pretty good as well, and he's the top scoring for his team. I think the kind of MVP for the Algerian team was Stuffed. I think this medic has a lot of potential, and if he really wanted to play in the European leagues as a medic main, there is a future for him, because I've seen him play. I've seen him pop his Uber charges. He has not dropped once, as opposed to Degu 1 drop, and he's playing extremely consistently within the team, even though the situation was not very good for the Algerians. So definitely some big shout outs to him. But I think we'll be shortly wrapping it up. eXtine, any last words before we move into some notes and information for the future?
You know, just kind of encouragement for the Algerian team, and thanking them for showing up and participating in this tournament. As you mentioned, you know, it does kind of take some organization from the team's part to get everything together and get involved. and would love to see more of the African TF2 community joining in and contributing. I know that there was kind of a league maybe years ago based out of South Africa, but you know, just kind of building connections amongst your own community goes a long ways. And huge proponent of LANs and regional based events, and just want to thank everybody for tuning into this, as well as everybody who's, you know, participating in a team or you know, showing up to cheer for their country.